All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Ryan here, joined by Joel.
Hello.
We are Michigan Storm Chasers. We do a weekly live stream every Sunday evening around 7 or 8 p.m., talking about the upcoming week's weather. Although tonight we do have a few other topics of discussion to talk about with you. Mainly going to be tonight's severe risk, but also some severe risk for tomorrow and also Tuesday, and also the upcoming week of warm temperatures, mainly the heat that is expected between now and next weekend. All right. Jumping right on into this, we do have an area we are watching out in Chicago area right now. It's called an MCV, a mesoscale convective vortex. All that is basically a localized area of low pressure or spin. It can enhance lift. It can also enhance shear as well. And that has, for the most part, weakened right now. Looking back out here, we can see the center of the MCV right about here. But out ahead of it, the outflow winds from that MCV, from the decaying line of previous storms, has sparked off additional showers and storms over Lake Michigan. Those are heading toward West Michigan as we speak. They will likely hold out here, but that's not what we're going to be watching as a main show. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some models here real quick for this evening. We have two areas of concern for potential severe weather. One down here in West Michigan. And I shared the wrong one. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. There we go. So we have two overall severe risk areas that we're kind of watching close. One down here by Grand Rapids and also Kalamazoo toward the West Michigan, Southwest Michigan lakeshore. And then also one up here in the very far western portion of the UP toward Ironwood. Looking at future radar on these models, we're going to see the showers and storms that this model has are pretty much lining up identical to what we're seeing here on radar. So this is a pretty good handle on things. Those storms will arrive on West Michigan, toward the Holland area and probably between 8 and 9 o'clock. So right around 8:30 or so, give or take a few minutes. Those will potentially be stronger. We don't expect those to be overall severe. There's a chance they may be severe, although that's not the expectation. The stuff behind it later on, this secondary surge, so to speak, of showers and storms is what we're going to be kind of watching more so closely because it's tied to that MCV where we could have enhanced localized winds and stuff like that. That would be a potential risk for severe weather this evening. But in addition to that, I think the majority of the concern is going to be with some heavy rain, potential some flooding there as well, especially we're going to say from Grand Rapids over to Lansing to Kalamazoo, like a little triangle there. Potential for heavy rains and flooding as that MCV sparks off additional showers and storms. The second area we're going to watch is up in the western UP. Take note a little bit later on this evening, we have showers and storms developing out here toward the Ironwood area. This model says 1 in the morning up there, give or take an hour or so, but we're going to watch that closely. And that's going to push eastward, but it does die out pretty fast on this model. The overall environment up there does support severe, although this model and the models that we have outside of this model don't really say too much in the way of happening up in the UP. So we're going to be watching it regardless. We'll be live if anything does happen. Main concerns in the western UP would be all hazards. Mainly damaging winds and large hail. Would not rule out a tornado risk up in the western UP. And then if you're down here in southwest lower Michigan, the main concern tonight would be large hail, but also I think the main concern overall would be damaging winds associated with that MCV. Not expecting anything to be tornadic at this point, but with the MCVs, we can get localized areas and pockets of spin. We'll watch it very closely. The expectation is zero tornadic activity due to a couple things. Number one being a pretty big cap we have on the atmosphere, which is going to limit overall storm intensity. So that should hold things down. But in the event that doesn't hold things down, we are lacking in stability as well. So we're going to be working stuff's working against the overall risk tonight. But with the MCV, it does have a mind of its own sometimes. We'll watch it regardless. It has not done much anything out to our west besides severe wind gusts. That would be the expectation as it continues our way and overnight tonight. Arrival for that secondary line in southwest lower would probably be closer to the midnight time frame, 11 o'clock to midnight, and it does strengthen up and it does develop into a pretty big area of rain and probably heavy thunderstorms here at the very least. So we're going to take note of that all the way up to basically Muskegon, all the way down here toward the border here toward Coldwater. That's going to move eastward as the evening goes on, this is 4 in the morning at this rate here, still really heavy rain there in those areas, and that's going to continue eastward, reaching the east side of the state. Now, the east side of the state shouldn't see much in the way of anything strong. It should be just general rain and thunder for you guys over on the east side of the state. But over here, when it first arrives in West Michigan, that would be the time frame to watch for potential severe weather as well. So 2 areas of concern tonight: Western UP, Southwest Lower Michigan. Those should be the only real areas of concern for severe weather. All right. Looking ahead, we do have a couple risk areas outside tonight. We do have a risk for tomorrow. Again, Western, West Central UP. Damaging winds, large hail, a concern there. Looking back at the model, if you guys caught the stream this morning, we've been talking about, and my computer just froze.
I can still hear and see you.
Okay, as long as you can still see and hear me. I can't click on my monitor though; it just completely froze.
You're a little laggy right now.
How about now?
I can see you clicking things.
Okay, as long as you can see it now, we're good. So this is tomorrow morning, looking at a decaying line of showers and storms up here in Wisconsin. That could be a concern, although we're not really concerned until it gets later in the afternoon if that continues eastward through the UP. This is by noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. Those storms could be strong or severe, but the main concern be after we see another line develop here in the Western UP by about 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. That could also be severe. It does look pretty nasty. Northern lower should be okay. But just know Western UP, there's Monday, but also another risk here for Tuesday for guess where? The Western UP yet again. Ironwood, Houghton, same exact areas. Looking back at the radar here, we can't really go out too far, but I do want to mention as well outside the Western UP, although we don't have an image for the Western UP at this point in time, we do have a couple indications that some showers and storms tomorrow afternoon could be possible across lower Michigan. But this model does key in here evening time for me. Have some pop-up showers. Those could carry some gusty winds because we have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. Those could carry some like downdraft wind, stuff like that. Nothing severe is expected down here, but especially on Tuesday, more coverage is expected of those pop-up showers and storms. It's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy out there. So it's not going to be, it's going to be a good environment, should I say, for some water-loaded downdraft microburst type of storms if they can maintain their strength. Overall severe risk Monday, Tuesday is quite low for Lower Peninsula, mainly going to be tied up to the Western UP as we talked about. All right. Outside of that, multiple rounds of showers and storms possible, some severe possible. The upcoming week will be hot. All right. We already have excessive heat watches, if I remember the term correctly, in effect for South Central, Lower Michigan. Looking at the temperatures this week, this is a graph here out of Ann Arbor off of the European model that shows temperatures starting tomorrow, the second graph in at 92, although likely going to be a bit higher than that. In fact, let's go ahead and switch over to the NBM. We have a little bit better guidance to go off of here as far as the blended model. So here's an updated graph here, 93 for Monday and Tuesday. Potential to reach higher for sure, but with the dew points being in the mid to upper 60s, the compilation of that together is going to cause muggy conditions. It's going to raise the heat index close to, if not over 100 degrees for a majority of us here in South Central Lower Michigan. So outside tomorrow and Tuesday, looking at 95 for the midweek, Wednesday, Thursday, 94 for Friday, Saturday, 91. And then the next weekend here, Sunday, Monday, we do look to cool off according to this model. We'll see if that comes to fruition or not. But the hottest temperatures will be centered, with the highest confidence between Monday, tomorrow, and then also through about Saturday or so. Expect highs in the mid 90s firmly, with potential for upper 90s as well. Going across the state here, this is Ann Arbor. Let's go to Kalamazoo. Let's see the west side real quick, if I can find Kalamazoo real quick on the sidebar here. There it is. So here's Kalamazoo, 96 tomorrow, 93 Tuesday, 96 Wednesday, 97 Thursday, 96 Friday, 93 Saturday. So again, hotter over on the west side according to this model. Let's go north. Let's go to Grand Rapids. 93s across the board, 92, 93 across the board until we get to the weekend. On Saturday, Sunday, we see 89, then a drop off back into the 82s. Let's go north to Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant, again, firmly in the 90s, low 90s, 93, 92, 93, 91. weekend 87s for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and then 82 for Sunday. So we're seeing a pattern here. Let's go to Alpena for one last lower Michigan look here, just to get an idea for the entire state. 3 days up there in Alpena, 91, 92, 93. Then we drop back off into the 80s for northern lower. So South Central Michigan combined here, the overall story, hot, muggy. Take your precautions. Stay hydrated. Avoid carbonated drinks. Stay in the AC if possible. Make sure you're taking as many breaks as possible if you're working outside or in factories or places prone to heat. There is a graphic I saw earlier today that does list heat as a major killer in terms of weather-related phenomena. You'd think tornadoes, you'd think damaging windstorms. No, heat is up there, if not worse than those. Heat can kill because it affects the entire population. It doesn't just affect, one or two people or a community of, a town or so. It's the entire region affected, which in this case would be South Central Lower Michigan. So it's a wide population affected. All right. So please take it seriously. We're used to the heat here. It's not common we have multiple stretches of plus 100 heat indexes, but here we are. It's June. It's summertime. We're used to it, but just make sure you're smart, staying hydrated, wear light colored clothing, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Outside of that, the overall risks for the week, outside of tonight, Monday, and Tuesday, pop-up showers and storms are going to be probably likely, if not possible, throughout the week, especially along our lakes, our lake breeze boundaries. Hot summer days, muggy conditions. We get that lift going up. We can see showers and storms develop in random places. Our confidence is obviously low in terms of places and when exactly, what days. But if you live near the lakes, especially Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Huron, definitely pay attention for you guys throughout the week, as we could have some pop-up showers and storms throughout the hot and mugginess of the upcoming week. Outside that, I believe we've covered everything. There are no
Brian.
What?
Real quick, you were talking about the heat being killer. Obviously, just to backtrack a little bit, besides heat being a huge killer, you can also have flooding as a big killer, underlying killer as well. And we could see that potentially tonight. I'm not saying that it's going to be like huge flash flooding or anything, but with the stalling of the MCV over western Michigan, South Central, Lower Michigan tonight, we could see some spots in low-lying areas where flooding issues could occur if the rain does, stay over the same area, and the rain is heavier in amounts between 12 and 6 a.m. tonight. And you can see right there on your model run of the precipitation that's supposed to fall.
Yep. So we have pockets here. We're seeing isolated pockets of probably close to 4 or 5 inches here from Grand Rapids all the way down toward Wayland along 131 there. But a pretty good swath here of 1 to 2 inches all the way over to Lansing, and then even some over here in Washtenaw County. These aren't going to be exact, obviously, but just the overall takeaway from this, localized swaths of really heavy rain are likely tonight. I wonder if I can get a zoomed in look on that. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, go for it.
And also, I'll throw up a graphic here while you guys, or while I bring this up, for you guys to kind of chew on. As far as heat-related instances go, a lot of you guys, you know what to do. You're smart. But for those of you who may be wondering, what can I do to help prevent heat-related illnesses? How do I plan stuff like that? Take a peek at the graphic I just threw up there on the screen. Hope you find it helpful. If you can screenshot that for future use. Feel free to do that.
Yep.
I'm going to pull up a rain map here to see if I can get a precip total, which I can. We're going to actually bring that in, if you don't mind, Joel.
Yeah, go for it. And while you're doing that, the biggest thing that we've reiterated in the past is your body can handle hot temperatures. Obviously, you want to take the necessary precautions like getting hydrated and stuff like that. As long as you sleep well at night, your body needs a way to refresh itself, cool itself down. So it needs cool air at night. And that's actually where a lot of like heat-related deaths happen, is your body's not getting that rest and relaxation at night in a cooler environment to recover. So definitely tune your AC on at night. Obviously, you can't really open your windows because the temperatures are going to be getting down to the mid-70s. So that's not much of a refresher. It's going to be a humid 70s for the most part. So definitely, if you have AC or some sort of fan in your house, definitely put it to use this week.
For sure. I also grabbed that graphic here for a more localized basis of the rain tonight. If you guys can see that there are pockets of 3 to 4 inches of rain from about Grand Rapids down to Kalamazoo over towards Lansing there. So that's what we're kind of worried about tonight as far as rainfall goes. And yes, flash flooding is likely in localized places tonight. It shouldn't be too major of an event in terms of flash flooding, but again, 3-4 inches of rain within 2 or 3 hours, that's going to flood your roads and stuff like that. So just pay attention tonight.
Mm-hmm. Excessive heat watch will likely be upgraded to a warning. They issue the warnings when it's occurring, usually. Kind of similar to a thunderstorm watch versus thunderstorm warning, and etc.
Yep.
So the watch is just a general blanket of time frame to show you when excessive heat is supposed to exist, and then again they'll upgrade it. Have we looked into getting a UP correspondent?
We actually do have a partner network chaser who is from the UP. But if you guys would like to, if you guys have experience, should I say, would like to join our team, feel free to send us a message. We'll send you a test to see how you do, and we'll gauge you from there.
I believe they're going to be consolidating a lot of the heat products soon if they haven't already. So I think Heat Advisor is going to get looped in with excessive heat warning at some point, because I know they're trying to get rid of a lot of the products that have the word advisory in them, because a lot of people don't know what advisory really means.
Also, just adding on something a little bit random, but still on topic for the night. Joel did make a timing graphic for the evening, just pumped out just before we hopped on here. So here again, we can screenshot this, save it for future use. I'll leave it on your screen here for about 20 more seconds or so. Take a peek at that. Now, again, severe weather tonight will be probably tied to the western UP and southwest lower. All right. So if you're over there in purple in southeast Michigan there, I wouldn't be too concerned for anything strong or severe overnight, but still likely to get some thunderstorms later on, probably closer to sunrise, if we had to guess. But overall severity and stuff like that should be tied over toward Grand Rapids, Holland, Kalamazoo, those areas. And again, it's a conditional threat as well. Basing it off models and stuff like that, we'd have the MCV there that could help support that. It's not a very high risk at all, but there's definitely some supportiveness there to get a severe storm or two tonight.
Mm-hmm. I just saw an important comment in chat here. Make sure to drink electrolytes too, because again, when you sweat a lot, you're getting rid of a lot of the salt in your system, and you need salt. Mm-hmm. So get some Gatorade, Powerade, whatever you can to get those electrolytes up as well. Balance it out. Make sure you're getting, is it like 4 liters a day or something like that?
The average that I usually go off of is between 56 and 128 ounces. So between a half gallon and a gallon of water a day.
Gotcha.
That's what I go off of. It'll differ from where you get your sources and stuff like that.
Yeah, 3.7 liters according to Google, but that's just one source.
Do you have a picture going up on the page right now of a beautiful shelf cloud taken about 30 minutes ago out of Muskegon? If you can take over, Joel, just for a second while I get this up.
Yep. And again, that timing map, if you guys just missed it for tonight, it is up on our X and our Facebook page. That is going to be MI Storm Chasers. For those who don't follow us on Facebook and X or just here on YouTube, we have Facebook and X. And again, MI Storm Chasers is the tag, and we post it on both those platforms. So if you missed it, you go ahead and like it and screenshot it over on those platforms. So for Lower Peninsula tonight, it's going to be mainly to the west of US 127, which is the highway that goes north-south through Lansing. So if you live west side of Lansing, severe is still possible tonight. And you can see right there on the SBC risk map for tonight, a marginal risk of severe weather does exist for pretty much the entire western half of the Lower Peninsula and not the eastern half. It's really nice when it lines up with major highways.
Yeah, it's nice. If you guys are confused at what these colors mean, we do have a graphic for that as well from the SPC NWS. Each color is coordinated to a level, so to speak, or a name. So tonight we do have mainly a marginal level 1 risk. We do have a slight risk level 2 up there in western UP. All hazards can and do occur within each severe risk. Tonight's risk is mainly going to be damaging winds and large hail. So just want to pop it up there real quick. I know a lot of people do have questions sometimes, and we have new viewers viewing us, stuff like that. So if you guys ever have questions, feel free to drop those in chat. We are open books. We love to educate.
Grand Rapids area should get its much needed rain tonight. the very least.
I've seen
Unless,
go ahead.
I was going to say there is a little bit of kind of similar to what we had with the last system that came through. That capping inversion is a problem tonight. So our storms will be limited in nature, and only the strongest will be severe. So thunderstorms still expected, but limited in coverage. And so not everyone will see severe tonight, and not everyone will see a thunderstorm tonight. Put that disclaimer out there before you get comments.
Yep. I said that this morning twice, once in the stream briefing I did, and then once in the video on YouTube. I believe I said those exact words. So I know a lot of people get upset. Hey, I didn't see a storm. You guys promised me a storm. We didn't promise you anything. We communicated a risk to you.
And for those who are asking about, I saw it like way back in the beginning of the stream, but those who are asking about tornado risk is like 0 tonight. There's, I think it's 2% up in the Western Peninsula, but again, they're also dealing with a capping inversion up there. So it could be more limited in nature up there tonight. There actually is a 2% in the Chicago area, but that's with the storms that are rolling through Chicago right now and starting to dissipate. So that's not expected to move over in our direction.
Right. And I can actually take you guys on a loop back this afternoon to watch the MCV and how it evolved. Take back here Chicago's radar, and we load back, we'll say, go back 150 frames here. You'll see the spinning motion of the MCV here. It's really cool to watch once it loads in here. There we go. Let's go ahead and go all the way back here. There's our storms back here in Iowa. We go ahead and animate this through the time period here. This is where that 2% tornado risk was. Nothing really happened tornadic-wise with this MCV. So that's why we're not really expecting that to happen tonight. But as that moves our way, you can see it spin there. It's really cool to see. But those storms just died out. The MCV currently is over western Chicago. So pretty cool radar loop to watch.
And the outflow boundary.
Yeah, the outflow boundary here as well. That's also really cool to see. This is right about here, and you can see these storms popping up all on the boundary. So we'll see if that sparks off additional storms, which it should. We are a little unstable in West Michigan right now. Looked at real-time data here. We have about 1,000 joules of surface cape, which is enough to support some storms. If you guys have not already, hit the like button on the stream. Helps us out a lot. It also helps your neighbors out who may not be aware of these risks this evening. We always say it, but a simple like and a simple share goes a long way and is the best way to support us for free. Iron, it basically is a mini land hurricane, if you want to think about it. It's like a localized area of spin. Obviously, it's not a hurricane, but it's the same mechanism. It's a low pressure, which is a hurricane. It's just a lot stronger of a low pressure to get a hurricane. What is the amount of rain to be considered flash flooding? There really is no one set amount. It depends on how saturated the soils are and just really where it's falling at. Like, for example, Grand Rapids or Detroit will flood a lot faster than the countryside here where I live in Lenawee County. So it really just goes, a lot of factors go into flash flooding. So really, to get a really good flash flood, you need probably a few inches an hour or a longer duration steady rain for like 12 plus hours. Yeah. Battle Creek. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask, like, what's our PWatt or our moisture looking like for tonight? I mean, probably PWatts. We could probably pull up Meso for that, actually.
Yeah, I have it already in the background, and I guess I don't have it in the background. 1 second, Joel. 1 second.
Oh, good. You were going to answer a question or something.
I saw a question for Battle Creek severe tonight. You guys in Battle Creek are right on the edge of the severe risk. I'd be on alert, although your chance is low across the board.
Also depends on terrain for flash flooding. Yeah, that's true. But we're fairly flat in Michigan, so it's just if you get a lot of rain over a certain area, they're going to warn the entire area.
All right, where's our PWatts here?
So I just checked. It doesn't have future, but it shows you like what it is right now. It's over to the right in heavy rain, I think.
Oh, okay. I'll miss that. There it is. 1.7. That's actually pretty heavy.
Yeah.
For this time of year, that is. What's our downdraft cape doing? Ooh, we got a lot of downdraft cape there, Joel.
Mm-hmm.
We got a ton of downdraft cape.
Did you freeze?
No. I'm lagging, though.
I froze, too.
I'm lagging. Something's wrong tonight, guys.
It might be StreamYard.
Probably.
You froze and you were like showing your teeth. That was funny.
Will it rain in Marshall tonight? Likely, Lisa. Likely. Sorry, go ahead, Joel.
I was gonna say people are gonna wonder what's downdraft cape mean, and someone just commented it.
Downdraft cape is essentially the measure of instability in the downdraft layer of the atmosphere. If I'm incorrect on that, Joel, let me know. But it's basically how unstable.
Maximum energy available to a descending parcel of area.
Yep. So basically just measures. Yep. There's so many different layers and products that we can use to look at how unstable the atmosphere is, starting with their surface cape. We also have low-level cape. We call it 3 cape. There's mixed layer. There's most unstable. There's downdraft. There are so many different products we can use to measure how unstable we are in any part of the atmosphere, really. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and switch back over here to the SPC risk for this evening. And this will update at 9 p.m. So if there's going to be any changes to this, it will come at 9 p.m. We probably will see some changes, honestly, given the environment's kind of changed just a tad. Wouldn't be shocked if they took northern lower, maybe eastern UP out of a risk this evening. We'll see what they do, though.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Hastings probably will see rain tonight, Tammy. I think it's a pretty good bet.
Can downdraft cape cause tornadoes? It's more of our kind of looking at our damaging winds for downdraft cape. But again, the tornado risk tonight is essentially, we'll say that, essentially 0 for lower peninsula. It's 2% for the upper. But as we know, Michigan likes to do its own things. And around a meso-low, who knows?
Right. I also want to say this as well. The wind shear tonight is actually pretty well oriented for updrafts to rotate. But the thing is tonight we have that cap in place, and the cap is not just a cap; it's a very strong cap tonight. Mm-hmm. So as long as that cap is strong, we should not have any concern for anything tornadic wise. The Forbidden Lake outflow boundary. We actually have a boundary right now in Grand Rapids pushing in. We can actually see it on radar too. We put a educational post out a couple days ago explaining what lake breeze boundaries are. And a good example of another one here today, you can see it right here all the way through Allendale down by Holland. That is your lake breeze. We had a really defined one over on Lake Erie a few days ago. All that basically is winds pushing inland from the lake that can provide lift and also enhance shear. And I am lagging hard. I don't know if you are too, Joel, but I am just lagging out.
I can tell.
It's weird.
It's fine. I can still hear you fine, so.
My internet went out last night about 1 in the morning. I wonder if that's got a problem to do with it. Any other questions, guys? Been on here for about a half hour or so.
Severe thunderstorm watch, probably not. I think it's going to be too isolated, kind of confined to one area, but you never know. But right now, I think the general thinking is because it's marginal risk, it's going to be no severe thunderstorm watch. They'll just issue warnings as needed. We are your watch tonight.
Me and Joel will be here probably talking in back stream here. So we'll probably be watching it and talking for a while. And if anything goes live, we'll be on.
If you live in Southwest Michigan, just have a way to have your warnings on tonight, just in case. Marginal risk, so not very severe, but damaging winds would be the main threat. We're all pretty young here. I'm 24.
I am 26. But yeah, we are fairly young. A lot of our chasers, though, range from middle age to who's our youngest? That's a good question.
Probably Drew or Ben.
I'm going to say probably Drew or Ben. I have to ask how old Ben is. What's up, Jess? Any chance for storms to cancel this heat wave? Unlikely, Kelly. Localized influences, though. If we get some pop-up storms on any type of hot day, it will cool you off if it hits you, but it won't be as widespread enough to get a big cool down. I'm going to set up my camera before we go live tonight, Joe. If we have to go live, I want to get a camera up and going just in case we get lightning here.
That's fine.
For some reason, my camera takes forever to connect, so that's a whole process.
I was want to become a chaser for your channel. So we have Chaser Partner Network applications. Where do you find those, Ryan?
So really, we don't give those out publicly. You have to
Right.
email us your interest. So email the page. You can find that in our link tree, which I will drop that in chat. You can contact us via letter to our mail, or our preferred method would be email. Give me 1 second to hop on here and drop this in. Just say you are interested in joining, and you will be connected with either myself or Chandler. And just as a warning, we would like you guys to have education or experience before you apply. We will test your knowledge as well. So we are very thorough in who we take on. I just dropped the link tree both on YouTube and Facebook. You can go ahead and click that. There should be a contact button there. You click that, it'll bring up our email, and that's how you would email us. Any more questions, guys?
It's Julie's birthday coming up. Happy birthday, Julie.
Oh, is it?
According to chat, yeah. Alpina, you guys are good tonight. Could be a couple rogue showers and thunderstorms later, but nothing in the way of severe.
Ever think of making an armored chase vehicle like Reed Timmer? If we had money, unlimited money, maybe. But honestly, the chasing that we do and stuff we need, we don't really need that. What we need to do... Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, you can continue. It's fine.
I was going to say what we could do. We have connections with the people who own, if you guys know the Dominators, if you guys know TIV1, TIV2, we know all those people, not on a personal basis, but we have the connections with those people if we wanted to reach out and do a collab. But it takes a lot to get that to happen.
Anyways, hail risk. Not really much of a threat tonight. Probably below severe.
Start a Michigan Storm Chasers GoFundMe. Jordan.
Put it on the Amazon wish list.
I mean, yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah. Joel and Ryan in the next Twister movie. Hey, they were taking open applications. We could have definitely done it. They're looking for like background chasers or the people that, stay in the background and whatnot, chase vehicles. But it was like out in Montana, I think, or something like that.
Well, Lacey brings a good point up. Too many deer in Michigan for a Dominator. Yeah. Yep. That's very true. Have you seen the new Twister movie? No, but we will. We
It's
will
not
be
out.
seeing it.
July 17. So it's a month from now is early release. Yes, Lynn, that is what we are eyeing tonight. And that's why the marginal risk was expanded. You want to throw up the timing map one more time there, Ryan?
Sure. If my computer will let me.
If not, I can get it.
There you go.
Nick's in here in the chat.
Nick.
There's your timing map for tonight. Not everyone will get severe. Not everyone will get thunderstorms. But if thunderstorms were to develop, this is your timing map. Biggest concern for severe is going to be in both green zones in both peninsulas, Southwest Michigan and then Western UP. Could see some severe into the red in West Michigan. The marginal risk does go kind of up towards into the northwestern lower. But I believe the capping conversion is going to be a little too strong for that.
Yeah.
Tonight. So just be aware in case something does pop up. It could be marginal severe if you live in northwest lower. But our anticipation is the only storms we see tonight are going to be associated with that mesoscale convective complex. Watch a new Twister in a drive-in. Yeah. Brian's cat sneakily in the top left corner of your guys' screen.
She's been fired from her bug duties. She missed it. Missed a bug last night or a couple nights ago. Here you go, Pip. And now I'm covered in fur.
Cause and effect. Yeah, if you guys are on your way out, make sure to hit the like button on the way out. We pretty much covered everything, but again, if you have any last minute questions, we'll go ahead and answer them. Otherwise, we're gonna prepare ourselves for potentially an all night, maybe all night severe. We'll see. But we would like to sleep too. Who knows?
Hopefully we sleep tonight, Joel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we will, though.
I'm gonna sit right here in this chair for the next 9 hours.
Yeah, what you see on your screen is basically what we see behind the scenes too. Like we have it all set up, ready to go. Me and Joel sit here, talk to each other. If anything goes severe, we hit the live button and we're live. So what you see is what you get.
Jackson, you've been warned.
No, Jackson's going.
We only let so much slide, and then you're gone. Simple as that.
Yeah, Dawn, I got rid of him. That was his like 5th or 6th weird comment like that. Elongated bug. Yeah. That came from Joel too.
Mm-hmm. Like there was another one in my apartment the other day, but it wasn't in my room, so it doesn't count.
How do you guys feel about the Radar Scope app? Nick said it in chat there. Radar Scope's a great app, especially if you're a beginner. It's a $10 app. It's radar only, but it gives you all the features that we use, like wind velocities, correlation coefficient, updraft, ZDR, stuff like that. So it gives you all the options, but it takes some time to learn. So if you're going to buy it, make sure you dedicate the time to learn what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm. And we'll re-advertise like we do in every stream. If you guys don't have a way to get warnings on your phone, obviously wireless emergency alerts only do tornado warnings and destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, as well as flash flood warnings. But for any other warnings that you want customized, you can download the Red Cross app. It's called Emergency. And you can, again, customize whatever app or whatever warnings you want to be coming across your phone. And those will send you a little notification as long as your phone's on, it's not on silent. And then there's another way where you can set up, I think it's like urgent alerts or something like that. So it sounds no matter what, if your phone's on silent or not. So it's a very useful app. Again, not advertised or anything, but again, we're not going to withhold life-saving information for you guys. So, emergency Red Cross app, it's a good way to get warnings, especially while you sleep. I know for tornado warnings, it sounds like a whole tornado siren on it. It's crazy. You've probably heard it in the stream a couple of times in the background when I'm out chasing. Time will we be live again? Whenever there's a severe thunderstorm warning next. So sometimes we just sit in the room for a bunch of special weather statements, but we won't actually go live, because if we were live for every special weather statement, we'd probably be sitting on YouTube for about 160 days a year.
Yep.
I have squeaky chair tonight.
Oh no.
It's a new chair too, so
We had this conversation before a couple of weeks ago.
yeah, that's because I'm back home. I'm in Mount Pleasant. It's not a problem.
WD-40. Yeah, Julie made my chair squeak her ringtone on her phone or alert or something. That's crazy. What is your count on tornadoes seen on chases? That's a great question, Ronald. We talking Michigan or we talking USA?
Well, it doesn't matter for me because I've only seen 2. Sadly, I've been behind like 3 of the last big Michigan tornadoes and haven't seen any of them.
You were there for Sherwood. You were there for Perry
And Williamson.
Weberville,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was 10 minutes behind or in front of all of them, and I never saw any of them. Trees, too dark, and rain wrapped. Chasing in Michigan has its it's hard.
Could I please see the future radar for the morning? Sure, Connor, you can do that. I see your question or your answer there, Ronald. Hold on. So we go here to simulated reflectivity. This is at 8 p.m. tonight. Here's 9. Actually, no.
Brian, you need to share your screen.
Yep. I figured I was sharing the wrong model too. I was looking at 18Z. I'm still frozen on my end.
It's loading in.
There we go.
Yes, Drew. Perry was low precip. I was just in the trees. I definitely saw the wall cloud, and then I was just in hills and trees until I got to Perry, and it was just. Yeah, Ronald, I've seen 2 all time, both in Indiana. Same storm.
All right, let's back this up here for you. There's 8 p.m. tonight, which is right now. Well, it looks pretty accurate compared to the model, or compared to the radar here. Here's 9. Here's 10. Here's 11. Here's midnight. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We got to slow down.
5, 6. What?
Look at it slow down.
Yeah. 7, 8, 9. And that's likely because the MCV is just going to fall apart there. So just probably just train over the exact same area until it falls apart. So, Ronald, in total, I've seen probably, I don't really keep track. I did at one point, but at some point just kind of, just didn't really keep track anymore. I've probably seen close to 20, if not more than 20. In Michigan, I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4. Kingston 2017, Portage this year, Colon last year, and there was a 4th one in there I'm missing. I think about that one.
White cloud is going to be right on the edge of the MCV tonight. So you guys could see a little bit of rain. Probably not severe, but we can't rule it out completely.
Any further questions, guys? Running about 45 minutes or so. Probably should look to hop off here, grab a break before potential streaming tonight. Also got some cells popping along that boundary coming in towards South Haven, Holland right now. We'll go ahead and pull back radar real quick for you guys. Raymond, that's a possibility towards sunrise, although you are way east, so your chances are lower than if you were further west. But towards sunrise, potential showers and storms for you. And we're watching these storms right now as they push on land here. Severe risk is there for these, although right now I think it's quite low. Check out some of these products. VIL. Got some wind in there, Joel. A lot of lightning.
Yeah.
What about northern lower? Northern lower should be pretty much clear for the evening unless something pops up, although I don't think there's going to be anything up there. Just some scattered showers moving out of the area right now. You should be clear for the night. That one cell is intriguing me there. If that continues to strengthen, it's on the boundary. It's got a nice little pronounced area, gustier wind. It's heading right for Holland.
Other than that, Ryan, I think you probably just do a recap really quick, and then we can call it a stream for our Sunday Night Weekly here.
All right, so let's go ahead and recap real quick. Severe risk this evening. Go ahead and pull this back up. I am lagging so hard still, so if I'm falling behind here, let me know.
It's okay.
Get this pulled up. All right, so here's your SPC outlook for severe weather tonight. 2 areas we're going to watch: Grand Rapids, south to Kalamazoo, otherwise Southwest Michigan. That's your first area. Second area up there in yellow in the western UP toward Ironwood, Marquette, Houghton, Iron Mountain. Those 2 areas are the most focused for potential severe weather this evening, overnight, tonight. Although in dark green, you do have a risk up toward Gaylord, Mount Pleasant, up toward Escanaba, Newberry, those areas, although not seeing too much in the way to support that risk right now. So overall, though, hazards tonight: main hazard, gusty winds, severe winds, should I say. Main risk up there in western UP. Could also be a risk further south in southwest Michigan toward Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. Large hail also a concern, again, up there highest in the western UP, but again, a concern in southwest Michigan as well, although we're probably going to see mainly a gusty wind threat over a hail risk tonight. So overall, tornado risk is going to be, again, tied to the western UP, and overall across the board is low. We're not seeing too much in the way of anything coming together to get tornadoes. Again, a big cap to overcome. It should hold things down. But if it were to happen, the highest chance of that happening up in western UP toward Ironwood especially. All right, so that's your tonight risk. Let's go ahead and dive into models. Looking at the latest guidance here, the storm's going to push onshore here between 9 p.m. or between now really and we're going to say midnight tonight. The main concern comes after midnight, and that's going to train over the exact same areas for a few hours. That's going to cause, or will likely cause, some flooding anywhere from Grand Rapids over to Lansing, over to Kalamazoo, anywhere in between those areas. Would like to get in on some localized flash flooding as we could top a couple inches of rain in a short amount of time. So be aware of that. If you have flood prone houses or yards, stuff like that, we could definitely see 3-4 inches of rain, maybe more in some spots in those general areas from Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo over to Lansing. So outside that, gusty winds will be a concern. Then over into the UP as well, watching those storms pop up roughly from about midnight to 1 a.m. Those don't hang out too long up there in western UP, so overall risk up there will be dependent on how long those storms can hang out. But overall, if they do hang out, severe weather would be a potential for both locations. All right. Looking at the day 2, we do have severe risk tomorrow in the western UP, and once again on Tuesday, a bit further west there in the western UP. So 3 days of severe risks here, especially for western UP. Tonight, we do have one down here in southwest lower as well. Looking at the future for the week, overall pop-up showers and storms are going to be possible because it's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy along Lake Breeze boundaries, close to Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, Lake Huron. We could see some pop-up showers and storms throughout each day of the week that it's really hot and muggy. Don't be shocked if that happens. Overall risk for severe at this point appears low across the board, except for the western UP, obviously. But we do have some models indicating, especially on Tuesday, we may see increased coverage of showers and storms across the lower peninsula of Michigan, right about here. Those could have some gusty winds, some small hail with those, as we are going to have a good amount of instability. Could have some downdraft type of winds that could try to be like a microburst, stuff like that. In fact, we just got an SWS now, Joel, for the outflow boundary from Muskegon down to Southaven. We'll go over that here in a second. So do me a favor, Joel, post on the page if you can.
Yep.
To go over this. So we'll go over that here in a second. Overall Tuesday, again, some downburst winds possible as storms pop up across the state. Other than that, the heat is going to be the main story of this week. Alpena temperatures here, low to mid 90s the first 3 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, firmly in the low 90s. Then it drops off into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Looking across the board, though, further south toward Ann Arbor, the model here does kick up 5 to 6 days of consecutive mid 90 degree weather. It does drop off for next weekend. Well, our confidence in that happening is quite low. But just keep in mind that's for Ann Arbor. Let's go ahead and go up to Kalamazoo real quick. Get Kalamazoo covered here. Again, a little bit higher temperatures here, 96, 93, 96, 97, 96, 93, back down to 87 on Sunday. So overall takeaway across the board going to Grand Rapids now is hot, muggy, and likely going to have heat advisories or excessive heat warnings and stuff like that issued as we get closer to this time frame. Likely going to have some in effect for tomorrow as early as tonight. Really wouldn't be shocked if they went ahead and put a warning in effect for those excessive heat. Take your precautions, wear light clothing, stay hydrated, avoid carbonated drinks, make sure you cool off as much as possible, avoid working outdoors if you can at all. Just buckle down inside. We're used to the heat here, but still heat can kill, and it likely if you take your precautions, you'll be fine. But if people don't take your precautions, we're likely going to have some injuries or perhaps some fatalities from the heat. It happens every year, unfortunately. I have to say it, but we try to warn you guys, stay hydrated, stay cool. You'll be okay. All right. Going back here to real time, to our radar for tonight's risk, we do have a new SWS special weather statement that was issued for the areas in blue here. I don't know the counties offhand. I'm going to go ahead and guess this. Ottawa, Muskegon, Van Buren, and Allegan County. Did I get those right?
It.
Awesome. In effect here, as this, I'm going to guess the outflow boundary is what they're statementing here. Yes, strong outflow winds, in excess of 40, as well as pea-size hail. So pea-size hail in these storms likely, and then, as this boundary comes on shore here, as I'm drawing this on my screen, that will be pretty gusty here for the lakeshore counties. So if you live from Southaven up to Muskegon, be indoors. If you're on the beaches, definitely get off the beaches. We got some storms coming in with a lot of lightning, small hail possible, gusty winds likely with that boundary pushing on shore. Severe risk doesn't exist. So if anything does happen to go severe between now and overnight tonight, we'll be here tracking it no matter what, any time of the day or night.
Ryan, you want me to read off what Ahmed just said?
And what?
Chat. It's about water.
Go for it.
I can do it. So CBS team's going to be handing out a few hundred cases of water between 3 Kroger locations tomorrow. I'm guessing that's probably in Southeast Michigan. Fire departments are going to be out with them too, talking about heat safety with people. They threw a post up on their page just to let you guys know. And again, it's for people who desperately need water. So if you know anyone who is in need of some bottled water, feel free to share that with them. And they appreciate spreading the word.
Awesome.
Again, that's and Kroger locations, I'm guessing in Southeast Michigan, 3 different ones. Storm's riding the outflow boundary there.
Yeah, I got a pocket here of perhaps close to severe winds on radar.
Mhm. Well, they have
53 or
that
so.
special weather statement probably for the entire outflow boundary because that entire outflow boundary, even though there's not precipitation there,
Right.
it's still going to be gusty no matter what, all the way up to Muskegon County.
Yep.
But that is along the leading edge of the MCV. That is supposed to die out kind of a little bit, and then precipitation is supposed to rekindle a little bit off to the southwest as the evening goes on into the overnight hours beyond midnight. Or I should say at and around midnight.
All right. Think we should hop off here, Joel, or should we stay on a little bit longer?
I'm good. I think we answered the questions in chat.
Okay.
But why is Berrien not included? It looks like the gust front only goes down to the northern part of Berrien. So
I will say as well, I don't think that's the case there, Joel. It goes further south. It's just different CWAs.
that's true. Yeah.
Because it looks like there's a boundary that goes all the way down here. Storms are riding.
Yeah. That was a brain fart moment on my part. I forgot Grand Rapids isn't issued that far south. Oops.
Yep. Yep. So Berrien County, as well as Cass and the bottom tier counties, is issued by Northern Indiana's office. So Grand Rapids doesn't cover that. That storm does look quite interesting. I wonder if we're going to get a. All right. Keep an eye on that.
Again. And then again, severe tonight is for areas east of 127.
Yep.
So Grand Rapids could see some severe later tonight, but it would only be mainly in the form of damaging winds. And then there's your day one convective outlook issued by the Storm Prediction Center. Anywhere in green, severe possible tonight.
Or yellow.
Or yellow, yeah.
All right. I think we're good to hop off here, Joel. I'm going to go ahead and pop into the other room just in case. We'll see you guys possibly tonight. If not tonight, we'll see you guys whenever there is a severe threat next here in the state.
Yep.
All right. You guys have a safe night. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. We have a hot week upcoming, and we'll be live here covering any severe weather between now and whenever.
Mm-hmm. And again, feel free to hit the like button on the way out. Otherwise, we will see you in our next stream. And have a good night, everyone.